Welcome back to a new What If. And in today's What If, we will be discussing the possibility of what if I replace the avatar. So, you might be wondering what I will do in this What If. So, basically, in order to make this What If more interesting, I will be a bender and not the avatar. Because it will be far more interesting than going the traditional path of just mastering all four elements and then face the Fire Lord. However, it would raise the stakes if I only have one element, which would be firebending. So, in this, what if Aang still exists? However, Sokka and Katara don't discover him during the 100-year war. And so now that we know about this, it is also time to say that we will discover the Avatar after the war ends. So right now, Aang is not in this story right now. So as we begin, is one dark morning at home. I'm just waking up as a dark mist surrounds me, and I start to wonder if I'm dreaming. So I just play along with it, and as the dark mist consumes the environment, a spirit in front of me tells me that I've been selected to make decisions and save the world of Avatar The Last Airbender. Which I also play along, which I say, what should I do? The spirit then says, you must save the world from Fire Lord Ozai and become a savior for the people. In order to accomplish this, I'm given one type of bending. Now, I know that this is happening as I pick my favorite element, which is firebending, as it is one of those elements I see a lot of potential that I could use with firebending. So, as the spirit gives me firebending, they then say you'll now be teleported to the world of Avatar The Last Airbender. And as I was being teleported away, the spirit says, this is not a dream and good luck. Now I hear the part of this is not a dream, but at the time I don't take this spirit's words very seriously, as I still think that this is just a dream. As I land in the world in the Avatar, I see in the distance, about a mile apart, a village, which is the Southern Water Tribe. I really look forward to meeting Sokka and Katara as I start running as fast as I can to get to the village as soon as possible. When I reach the village, I am greeted by strange looks as I am practically an outsider to this village. Once I gather enough attention, the village elder, Kana, also known as Grand by Sokka and Katara, asks who I am. And then I explain that I escaped from the Fire Nation and that I'm seeking refuge. The village elder is shocked to hear this, as the Fire Nation is a very cruel and dangerous place. Then I explain to them that I'm looking to seek justice against the Fire Nation and that I will need a place to stay. Although a bit reluctant at first, they eventually agree as I'm given shelter and food. Eventually, I meet everyone in the village, including Sokka and Katara. Although Sokka believes that I am a spy from the Fire Nation, Katara believes otherwise. I explain to them what my purpose here is at this village and how I will carry my own weight. And all I need to do is have a place to train, to practice my bending skills in order to get a good start to supposedly defeat the Fire Nation, which is not the exact words, but it is something similar. Now, as I say that, everyone is shocked that I have such ambitions. I continue with my adventure by first getting used to the environment in this world, and I would often train physically and start to learn the basics of firebending by mastering control, as it seems like that is the only thing I could do to master firebending, compared to when Aang was learning firebending. So during the first week, I would count my days and mark it somewhere, as I would assume there would be a location to write stuff down. As the day went on, in order to prove that I'm not with the Fire Nation, I would help out the village by getting food and also missions with Sokka and Katara to getting them to know them better. As said before, I believe with my knowledge of how firebending works, I would help to master it very quickly, and by the end of the week, I could say I could launch basic firebending attacks and just output fire. By the second week, I would begin to focus on my breath and how firebending works with this method. This would take a few days, and I would also say that Sokka would begin to trust me more, and I begin to tell Sokka and Katara my plans of traveling the world and how I would like to be the best at firebending. Katara then says that seems to be an ambitious goal. I respond yes, but challenging opponents is the best way to get better at bending, which eventually after that discussion some more time passes. During this time, it would be around day 21 where I'm at least proficient in firebending, but I still have more to learn by getting into a real battle. Also during this time, I knew finally where Zuko discovers this village. However, unlike in canon, Zuko finds the Avatar through the blue light in the sky. However, in this time, there is no blue light. However, I do believe that eventually Zuko would try and find the Southern Water Tribe and would go there. This eventually takes another week. It is almost midday, where in the distance I manage to spot a ship from afar, and I quickly tell the village leaders I think I know who it is, and I prepare everyone by getting everyone to safety. As the news spread, I tell Sokka and Katara that a battle is near, and it is finally my time to protect this village. I would then say, Sokka and Katara, you make sure the others are okay, and if you want to watch me fight Sokka, you can. As I stand near the coast, I stand ready for battle. As the ship arrives near the shore, and the ship opens, Zuko walks out. Unlike in canon, where Sokka runs and attacks Zuko, he just watches from afar. As Zuko walks out of the ship and steps on the ground, he says, "Have you recently seen the Avatar?" says Zuko. I say no. Zuko doesn't believe me and tells the guards to check the tents. But before the guards go in the tents, I start firebending at them, trying to aim at them with little harm. Zuko responds with, "You're a firebender, what are you doing here?" I respond with, "Well, I decided to check out the Southern Water Tribe." Zuko then says, "Are you the Avatar?" Well, I then respond with, "No, but I plan to be a replacement for the Avatar." Zuko then says, "Well, I guess I will have to take you as prisoner for betraying the Fire Nation." As Zuko then commands his guards to get up, I knock them down again. I then say, "Fight me if you want, and if I win, you promise to leave these people alone." Zuko then says, "If I win, you're my prisoner, and I search this village to the ground to see if you're a liar." As the match begins, Zuko, Lightface, and Aang launches firebending at me, but then I realize this bending is not as powerful, as with my knowledge, I know that Book 1 Zuko is way weaker than Book 3 Zuko due to the internal changes firebending, and in Book 1, it wasn't really that focused. So I then use my hands in a circular motion to block the fire bending attacks, and then I use it to launch them back at Zuko. Zuko is hit with the fire bending that I redirected, and then I eventually knock him down as I put the palm of my hand to his face, and I tell him, "Prince Zuko of the Fire Nation, I have a request to train with you to become stronger in firebending, and I know you can do it, especially with the help of Uncle Iroh." Zuko then says, "Who are you, and how do you know who I am?" "I'm a stranger to you, and you're somewhat of a stranger to me." I tell Zuko about how I've studied the Fire Nation royal family and that I'm willing to help you out on a journey of firebending to help you out on your journey. Zuko is shocked and surprised by this, and I tell him I'm ready to join you on your travels. Zuko, although reluctant, agrees, and I tell the village to show up and that the threat has been neutralized. As Zuko is waiting, I talk to Sokka and Katara that I'm leaving to go get better at firebending. I would ask them if they would like to go with me on my travels, however it would be filled with danger. I think at this point of the story, Sokka and Katara would trust me, but Katara and especially Sokka would be concerned about the dangers into going Fire Nation territory. But I also realized that I need their help if I want a chance to get revenge against the Fire Nation. Eventually, I reason with them and they agree at this point. We then board the ship and few hours pass. During this time, I ask Zuko where Uncle Iroh is, and Zuko shows me. Uncle Iroh then says, "It is an honor to meet you, and that I will be willing to become a student as you show me the ways of firebending of the dragon, lightning redirection, and to show me the core values of firebending as a whole." Uncle Iroh is shocked at how I know these things. I then tell Iroh that I research a lot about the royal family and including their techniques. Iroh then says, "It is always welcome to have a student of firebending here." I also tell Iroh that I'm willing to train along Zuko. Iroh then says, "That sounds like a good idea." I also introduce Sokka and Katara and tell them that they need the best Fire Nation disguise so they do not get caught. Eventually, they manage to stay hidden. As the day ends, I think about training with Uncle Iroh as I begin my journey to fight the Fire Lord. And then this is it for this what if, and I hope you guys enjoy this first part. And this is it for this what if. I hope you guys enjoy this what if. We will be eventually doing a continuation to this what if once I get other what ifs out of the way, as apparently my upload schedule is very inconsistent now.